Welcome back, guys. It's the Brothers Geek Out podcast, and this is another Geek Out session for you guys. And I've got a special guest on today. I want to introduce Timo to you guys, and I'm going to let him do like a WWF intro for himself. I want to hear what you do, dude. Go for it.
Right. I've been creating videos for God knows how long, since I got a camera on my flip phone, and stopped for years, came back to it, TikTok, blown up. It's a great platform to show how much of a geek you are, and everyone loves it. Fantastic community. It's how I found you. You found me. Luckily, both went to the same movie premiere.
Yep, we did. We
jammed.
Yeah. It is. I met Tim. Well, so originally I saw his videos on TikTok. He does these awesome location videos for anything geeky when it comes to Star Wars, Marvel, DC, stuff like that. So ongoing fandom. But we actually physically got to meet at the Morbius fan premiere, and that was an interesting one. But it's always a great experience. Yeah, definitely, always a great experience because you get to. I never thought that I could jump on a platform like TikTok and end up meeting so many cool people that, like usually with Facebook and Instagram, I never actually physically got to meet people when they followed you. But now we're lucky enough to go to these events where we can like, oh man, I know your video, I know who you are. And it just all interlinks. And it's created a great community at the moment, which really excites me the most because we're all in this together and we get to enjoy that fandom really well.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But with the work that you've done with your page at the moment now, and I know we briefly touched on it, like what made you just say suddenly I'm gonna do location hunting?
Right. So I have been a film extra, and I just started to I can't unsee it now. Everywhere I go, I know when there's a film in there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, right, this is an interesting spot. Or where I live, funny story. I was like, something's happening around here. So I live near Stonehenge, right? Like international site. But around it is Salisbury Plain where the army train. And I was like, why are they digging trenches around here? I was like, what's going on? And then I got an email saying, are you interested to be in a war movie? And I was like, oh, yeah. And I was like, oh, right. And I was trying to figure out what it is because they have like project names. And I was like, well, okay. I could I moved closer to it. Like at the time I was living in Andover, which is further away from it, but they were filming in Salisbury Plain, which I can walk to that site now, or that film set. I was like, right, trenches, right, what war is that? And I was like, it could be Napoleonic. They started to use trenches, maybe. It was 1917. I got the email, booked my time off work. They said, I don't need you. Week before, they went, we want you again. I was like, I've just cancelled my leave from work. I missed out on an Oscar-winning film to just play around as a soldier. And then from then, I have not gone back to being a film extra because I'm very annoyed at that. But other stuff, Detective Pikachu, I was in that. That was it was filmed at Leadenhall Building. But that started it off in my mind. But I didn't start until last year. So May the 4th, may the 4th be with you. I was like, posted one video, it did okay. Second one, viral, and I was like, okay, there are people asking, can you do Grimsby? Can you do Manchester? And then that's it. That's how it just
kind of
ask it. So now
snowball, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's a snowball effect. That's amazing. The extra stuff, I've had my fair two shares on the big screen. I did. Yeah. Well, actually, I can't even remember. I was in a short movie that was played at the Rain Dance Film Festival. I think this is looking at 10 years ago almost. It was for like a romantic comedy. And I played a one-eyed thug. So I at the time I was pretending to be Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury, but I just played this guy at the bus stop that just was like a crazy guy, which was absolutely hilarious. And then I did a film with it's called Legacy. I'm trying to remember the actor's name, and it's gone right out of my head. But went to Pinewood Studios, and they used their cafeteria as one of the movie scenes. And I played a waiter, like rushing around in the kitchen. Oh my God, his name is going to kill me now. So it was produced by Noel Clarke. The actor's name? He was in Attack of the Blocks. It wasn't Moses. It wasn't John Boyega. It was. He had short hair. He was in Legends of Tomorrow, and he played. Was it Firestar? Not Firestar.
Right, legacy film, Noel Clarke. Sorry, I got a cheat code. Normally, I'm like IMDb. I'm like, yeah, okay, just give me what they look like. But for a film like that, I'm sorry, I don't know. Right.
Yeah, it was one of his later films that he produced, and
Franz Strammer. He was in Attack of the Block.
I think so. It could be. You know what? Now you got me. It has to be
Franz Strammer. Sorry, guys, we've done it. There's 2 film geeks which actually have to use Google for this.
I know. Okay.
Franz Strammer.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I think because he was in Legends of Tomorrow, and he played. Yeah. I can't remember the character's name, but yeah, that was my moment. But no, that's amazing though. But the fact that you missed out on that big movie, that movie was amazing.
No, you know what? Guilty. I haven't watched it.
Oh my God!
I should be positive, but because of that, I have not watched it. The talent on that movie.
It's phenomenal. It's like I remember taking my dad to watch it, and he was like, "This is intense," because of the way they shot it and how it was. It really made you like in that moment.
Because I was in Amazon Prime / ITV's Vanity Fair, but I had to go to boot camp for this. I was like a Napoleonic soldier, so I had to wear the red coat, musket firing, wicked, and I made loads of lifelong friends there. And I found out my best mate from there was in the trenches, and I could have been with him, so it would have been that camaraderie. It's like, mate, if he died on screen, we would have been in the background crying. Like, we would have gone full on. Like, that's yeah. So they physically personally attacked me by getting me off the movie and asking to go on again. And I got asked to go on to it's not the Band of Brothers sequel, but there's Steven Spielberg's doing another one.
Okay.
It's like it's like basically the Air Force version of Band of Brothers.
All right. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Got asked to go on that similar thing. Free these dates, they've changed them, and I just like I'm a bit. If I wasn't in a day job, I would be like.
It's difficult. It's very difficult, and I'm lucky enough if my manager's listening when he does listen to the podcast anyway. Thank you very much, dude, for like always encouraging me and helping me. He's probably one of the best managers I've ever had, and really encouraging in what I do, and gives me the time that I need. But I work for a good company that kind of works both ways, so bless him. But I know how hard it was when I was in a 9-to-5 job that didn't get the time that I needed to get off, and projects I wanted to jump on. And I totally understand where you're coming from on that one.
Maybe in a year's time I won't be 9-to-5. Let's see.
No, that's it. I heard you're working on loads of things, and there was one thing that intrigued me as well, because you've started something new recently, and you said, you're working with Forbidden Planet, and I was like,
yeah, actually I got it here.
Yeah, tell me.
Always talk about it. Right, so biodegradable glitter company, because I'm a big fan of festivals. It was a t-shirt company, pivoted. Hatsune Miku, so all the anime fans, you might know this. Right, the first eco-friendly anime glitter ever.
Awesome. So, that's amazing.
And Forbidden Planet, I'm still waiting for them to put it in their store, but they've got the stock, given them the invoice. It's going to be out anytime soon. Probably
awesome. That's amazing.
And HMV are interested as well. So that's it. And we are thinking of other products, but trying not to. Well, Marvel's expensive. I can't afford that yet. Maybe like, can I swear on this? I don't know.
Of course you can, dude.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch will be one of our mixes in the future. We were thinking of like Dr. Odd and fun mixes. Like it can capture that audience. But the cosplay market is awesome.
It is.
Yeah,
it is. It is.
We are getting interest from other like smaller anime sort of brands as well, which want to get into glitter, which is very, very odd. But it's fun.
Oh no, that's adventures. Very, very, very cool. You're going to be going to any of the Comic Cons this year?
Mate, I've got no time. I wanted to go to MCM, which is next week.
Yeah, no, that's it's
probably. I think there's one in October, isn't there?
There's one in October, and then you've got London Film and Comic Con. There's a couple that's like in Wales and up in Liverpool, which they've got. I
should go.
Yeah, so
I prefer to go with a crew rather than by myself.
No, it's always nice. I actually the opposite. I stopped going with crews because I never got to do the things I wanted to do. So I ended up saying, you know what, guys, I'm just going to go by myself. And if I see you along the way, we'll grab some lunch. And that's bad.
Yeah.
So, but my thing was that if there's going to be like an exclusive artist or somebody that I wanted to meet, then I want to spend that time with that artist. So I can not just, I want to get my comic book signed, and I really want to have that moment to geek out with them and say, what inspired them, how they got into it. And, me teaching art to other students, like, the processes and cons and stuff like that, and people trying to get into the industry, like, because I know how oversaturated we are. And like, it was a conversation I was having with another guest about how science fiction, comics, and all of this, like, is it come to a time now where it's oversaturated? Because I enjoy the content, no matter what, I'm going to be a fanboy. But do you feel like things are being rushed to get out so quickly? And I know we had COVID to kind of give it a pit stop. But like this year, when you look at the roster, we've got so much coming out.
Spoiled.
Like, yeah, we are. We've got spoiled. And then I've seen all the stuff on TikTok and online on Twitter where the bar is set up so high for some of these movies, and when we do go to see them, we're like, I mean, Morbius is a perfect example. To be politically, nice.
So like the pandemic's changed my mind of things because everyone's on TikTok. Like I used to look at reviews before I watch a film. Because it skews your view of it. Doctor Strange is a great example. I didn't want to look at reviews. I go in with not a Marvel mindset. You're going to the cinema as a film.
That's right. Yeah,
it's not the comic. Right. You're not going to read another issue of
that's right. Yeah,
standing comic series. Go in. So I treated it as like, oh my God, this is like a Sam Raimi film. Yeah, I like treat it like that. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was funny. It was scary.
Yeah.
Like, there were some moments I was just like, I know it's gonna jump, but then it's not gonna be like scary enough. But I was like, I loved it.
It worked. Okay. It worked. I think it's like Marvel are taking much more risk in the movies and the TV shows that they have brought out recently. And I've been enjoying the journey, not expecting much as a fan. I was that guy originally when it started. I was the guy that used to say, oh shit, that doesn't look like the comic book, and they didn't do this and they didn't do that. And then when I saw Avengers, I was like, holy shit, they're creating their own universe. And then it made me fall in love with the first phase again, because it was like, I can't bring my comic book mind into this world. I need to see this for something it is itself. And that's when I started falling in love with it.
Yeah. Saying that, like, Star Wars has a crazy community, because it's really, the movies are like the foundation. Everyone just it's so tough. There's loads of like Straw Hat Goofy never touched Star Wars because of the whole culture. I think he did one video on it, and I think even then it was just,
it's a difficult one. I mean,
to get one creator, the biggest film top creator, to not talk about it because of the culture. But I think it's going to improve. I think Obi-Wan's going to bring everyone together.
Yes, I'm so excited. I mean, I'll be honest, with Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau jumping on, like The Mandalorian and Book of Boba, and really, I think Mandalorian did reignite love for Star Wars again dramatically. And I mean, Star Wars is the one that started it all off. This is the main thing for science fiction fans that kicked it all off. I mean, is this your main fandom? Is it Star Wars for you?
I think, since I was 4, like one of my earliest memories of like proper cinema was, I'm talking the 90s now. So I remember watching, I was too young to watch. I don't know why my dad let me in to see it. Lost World, right? Park, Lost World, which was like, it was basically like the multiverse of madness for dinosaurs. It's like, fine, we're just throwing everyone. Vince Vaughn, you go in. Jeff Goldblum, like, and every dinosaur, just thrown it in this movie, and like it's quite visceral. And then Men in Black came out, a couple of years after. I don't know, my movie knowledge for that era is skewed.
That's all good.
But and I remember going to my mate's house. I never watched Star Wars, so this is my first experience watching Star Wars, and it was the Return of the Jedi. And we were watching it, recreating the scene on the barge. He had his lightsabers, like the crap plastic. I actually got one there. I haven't got one of these cool Force Effects one. This is my like old one. yeah, we were just playing it, and that was it. I was just like, yeah, I want to be Luke Skywalker. That's it. I was just in love. And Han Solo, still my favorite characters. And then from there, I was just like, yeah, 100%. Always Spider-Man as well. Spider-Man's my favorite, but yeah, Star Wars is my go-to. It's like, even if those videos flop on TikTok, I don't care. I enjoy it. It's my escapism. So
yeah, no, I think that's what the main thing is that escapism. I think a conversation I had recently, and it's actually with my father, because he really doesn't get the fandom that me and my brothers have and my little sister. And I was like, we get it from you. Like, he's a big fan of like spaghetti Western movies. And that's all I watched when I was growing up. And I was like, you watch like samurai movies and, Star Wars and like movies in the 80s kind of kicked it off for us. You gave us the catalogs of movies. You kind of embedded that in us and pop culture as well. And he just didn't understand it. And I was like, Dad, it's like, if I was to be a smoker or a drinker or someone who takes drugs, that's a form of escaping for that moment. You gave us pop culture. And he didn't like to take the blame for that. Yeah. I was like, Dad, it's not a bad thing. It's a great thing. He was like, Dad, he goes to me, Kibbs, you are 40 years old and you still wear superhero t-shirts. And I'm like, okay, you maybe have a different dress sense at that time than I have now. But, I don't know. It's just, I like wearing, it's my fandom. It's what I enjoy. It's what I love. Like, and
it's no different, right, to people that love football. So like, just literally, it's like a copy and paste format. They'll be wearing a football shirt. In the back, it'll be like, not Iron Man, it'll be Ronaldo or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. And it's another thing. You can go to another bloke and be like, hey, Spider-Man? Yeah. Which one's your favorite? That's it. Like, did you watch that movie? Which is the same as a match. That's it. So
exactly.
I used to try and like everything. I used to try and like football, but then with sport, it's football, but it's not just football. You've got Formula One. You've got all this. I was like, I'm just gonna stick with movies now. That's it. I used to be gaming, and that's how my TikTok channel was started. I wanted to be a Twitch gamer. Oh man, I was trying for years. It's not working. I was like, I can't compete. I'm just gonna, I've been a film extra. I started to share those stories. I started to share just my reviews, and then locations took off, and like that's a good hub. And yeah, that's it. And I studied film as well. Yeah. And as I said, I used to make movies as well on YouTube, like literally lightsaber movies. So back in 2000,
sick.
When did it come out? 2009. My mate he had what's it called? Final Cut Pro. So every frame he used to cut it.
That's right.
I can do that now on my phone. It's mental.
So cool. It's so cool, like how far that we've come. Because I studied media studies in college. I didn't go university. But film has always played a big part of my life, I think. And then, as I said, I said, Dad, you inspired that for us, because that's why we love this stuff. It's like, it's ingrained in us right now, because you're a fan of pop culture, but you just don't want to say it. And a fan of cinema. We've just kind of embraced that more, like, as you said, like a football team supporter would be. Yeah. But no, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. With the work that you've done recently as well, and there's going to be more to come, but where, I mean, for the listeners, like, because I know how much hard work goes into this, having a family as well and trying to piece it all together. Like, what is it that inspires you to kind of motivate you to keep going? Like, I'm doing this.
Right. So for TikTok, it's the community, man. Like, probably like, it's like, there's actually, you get hate comments, right? That's absolutely normal. But then, that's their issue. It's not yours.
That's right.
It's not feedback. It's just they're having a bad day and they're taking on you. But that doesn't actually stop me at all. I'll talk about it on my podcast as well, like TikTok careers. But no, what drives it? It's just the community. It's just like, I know there are, especially with Instagram. So I move the TikTok audience to Instagram. Yeah. And I love it. I do the stories and stuff, and people interact. And I've got people that, like, they're not friends because I don't know them enough. Like, you're an exception because we talk to each other pretty much every day. Like, then there's people which always waiting for my next post, and they always like say first and things like that. It just gets to that point, and you're just like, oh, you start to see the same profile picture pop up, and I just love that. I like people are tuning in, like, it's like I'm a TV channel, and that's just,
of course, it's amazing.
I don't want to let them down. But then I don't have any other hobbies. This is it. This is I'll make TikToks, and I'm trying to spread out into YouTube, but that's a bit harder because it's I have to edit it and all that. But I'm getting there, so don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube. Make
sure you do, guys. All the links are in the description, guys. And if you're listening on a podcast streaming, then make sure you read the description. It's all in there. All the info's in there. Make sure you go follow. Make sure you do. No, seriously, it's all about sharing the love and putting it out there. And that's what I learned on TikTok as well, because I only joined late. I think it was like last year summer. I think I was a bit late on it, and I mean, as you said, the community. It's just mad when you see that first comment and somebody actually says they're first to comment on it. They are literally waiting to see what you're getting next. But then I've met people across the world that are following the journey as well, and the things that they ask, and it's like, oh yeah, I feel like I know you. Yeah, I think you've been watching my videos too much. But they're eager and they want to know more. They want to see your knowledge. And recently, I'm late on this as well. I've only started stitching videos more often in the past month. And there's a couple of creators that I stitch with, and I realized, oh, you know what? That's actually really helped me engage with their followers as well. Because the comment sections, I think the engagement is the most important part of social media anyway, because it will help push your post. But the negative ones are the best ones, because that's the ones that just take it over the roof.
I don't know what video it was. I did one of these trends, and I think it was a controversial opinion. I said Squid Game was better than Stranger Things, but I don't know. But anyway, it caused controversy because Stranger Things is coming to an end. I love it. I'm not saying I'm hating it, but Squid Game, like, if they get season 2 right, it'll be really good, because Mr. Beast took it off, but yeah, we'll see. Stranger Things anyway. Next week, blimey,
we've got so much
week next week for fans.
Yeah, we've got some great content coming to us. So we've got Stranger Things, we've got Kenobi, and then it's hard to keep up because oh my god, Top Gun. Oh my god,
you were there, weren't you?
It was nuts. So they did. So as I said, like yesterday, they invited me to the royal premiere as well, and I couldn't do it because. So I said yes to Kenobi. Then I said I was going to do the podcast with you, and then they sent me a last minute email. Like, everything comes so last minute, but luckily the day before I got to see like a multimedia screening of it. And you know what? 36 years later, I don't know how Tom does it, but I got so much love for that dude. He's crazy in all sorts of ways, but that film was awesome. It was shot great because you're using IMAX cameras and you're watching all of these fighter planes. There's a small amount of CGI, but you're actually seeing these guys fly.
Yeah.
And the action scenes were just intense. And again, something that I saw that only I've seen at Marvel or some DC movies, where it ends up feeling like a football match. People are cheering, people are screaming. And I was like, oh my God, I feel like I'm in a Marvel movie, because since Infinity Wars, the crowds have gone mad in the cinemas. So when you see a new cameo, when you see a new action scene, and you see the interaction in the crowd, I think movies have come to that level now. Like, I remember when Cap threw the hammer and caught it, I was probably the first person to jump up and scream when everybody else joined in after. And it was like a wave of screams after.
It's your cinema. It's me. Like, when... I don't know. I don't want to give spoilers because maybe people haven't watched it. Okay, right. Doctor Strange. Like... Spoilers. Come on. Spoilers. Right. That's enough time. Right. John Krasinski came up and I was like, oh, everyone. I was like, no one knows. But I tell you what, the audience makes the film as well. So
that's right.
The best film experience I had, it was I was in Cyprus and I was watching the movie 300, and Greeks are fucking proud of their heritage, right?
Yeah.
It was the bit Leonidas, loads of arrows have hit his shield, and he breaks them off. And just before he broke them off, I'm guessing this guy's watched it 3 times, stood up, went, and broke off at the same time, and everyone started cheering. And I was like, wow. This is cinema. Like...
Oh, it's brilliant. It's engaging now, much more engaging. A great movie as well, bro. It's one of Zack Snyder's best films.
I haven't watched number 2 yet, and I've been told not to. I don't want to ruin it.
I'll let you know. I'll tell you now. Just leave it. Leave it.
I watched that cinema twice. It was so good.
Yeah, I think I did it a couple of times as well. I remember there was an MCM Comic Con where Frank Miller was. I think it was a couple of years ago. 3-4 years ago. He came to the MCM Comic Con. I got the tickets last minute, and then the BBC invited me to say that Frank Miller's going to be there. Would you like to go interview him and the rest of it? And lucky enough, I got to sit with him and talk about like 300 and the adaptation onto the big screen, the Dark Knight, and when he did his runs on Wolverine with Marvel. And it's like amazing guys. Like it inspires me so much that my guy is almost 80 years old and still drawing and still writing comic books. And it's just amazing. And like his enthusiasm when I remember he was signing a couple of my comic books and like his ink was running out. And then I gave him one of my pens and I was like, I'll use it because you've got a shitload of fans to sign for. And he was like, no, keep it. I'll get one of my guys to help out. And I was like, just keep it, man. If you gave me this, I can only give you this pen back to help out the rest of the fans. It was absolutely like a really surreal, super moment. And more to come, dude, because, I think the UK Comic Cons are getting bigger now where we're getting the people that we follow in our fandom go into them. Like I miss when Loki went to MCM Comic Con. I'm kind of gutted about that one, but Tom Hiddleston, sorry, not Loki. Oh my God. That's how like they've embodied those characters that I wouldn't even see. Like if I was to see Robert Downey Jr., the first thing will come out of my mouth is like, oh my God, that's fucking Iron Man.
Like Chris Evans, Captain America, but it depends what they do outside of it as well, or before they do it. Because sometimes like Sean Bean will always be Sharp for me, or Boromir. But yeah, mainly Sharp. Oh shit, Sharp. Big Sharp fan. So
that's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. But with your current work at the moment, you've got any sneak peeks of anything coming up soon, or?
Doing so much stuff. I because of like the success of all these Star Wars locations, I've actually I wrote them all down, and now I've just turned it into a bucket list poster.
Awesome.
Like it's fun for me because I need to go to Tunisia, I need to go to Guatemala, I need to go to all these locations, and now it's just available for anyone to buy.
Awesome.
And you can scratch it off. So yeah, it's got some beautiful artwork behind it as well, so you can scratch it off. Like you've got this 100 movie bucket list thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Locations.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
For legal reasons, I haven't called it Star Wars locations. It's called.
I totally understand.
It's something which people have asked for.
Yeah.
And
Awesome, man. That's really good. That's really good. And to just another inspirational quote from yourself, because I know how much hard work you put in a lot of work, and I know that
you do too. Come on.
I know, but this is bigging you up now. This is the reason why you're on the show is because most of the listeners that I do have and do send in questions are young artists, young creatives that are trying to get into the industry, and they always ask me the same question: how are you doing it, what you're doing, how do you get motivated, having a family, running everyday life as well, and then doing the hobbies on the side. What would you say to them to like just give them that extra push to say, what would you say?
Right, if you enjoy it, it should naturally push you. As soon as you have that idea, either write it down or do it straight away. Because if you think, it's a great idea, and you try to keep it in the back of your mind, it will fade and it will disappear, and you will never be able to get that idea again. So have a book. Where's my small book? I don't have it right here. Have a book with you. I've
got one here just prep for him, just in case.
Literally have either a notepad, or if everyone's got a phone.
Oh yes, a phone.
Just one bit on your notepad on your phone just has content ideas, or if you've got an idea to draw something, like just have it, just call it ideas for that specific thing. Jot it down, because anytime I want to create a video and I haven't got inspiration at that moment, I'll go, right, I'll look back on this and I'll write down in detail like what song to use if it's on TikTok, or who to reply to. And sometimes I get ideas, like I'll go, all right, someone's already asked for Warwickshire, right, for my my thing. Like, okay, right. And I'm in my mind, like, do I know one of your work share? And I've replied to that comment specifically, and always engage with, if you do have an audience already, engage with the community, ask them for feedback. It was like with my business, you know, there was a very slow couple of months. I had no sales. So I asked all the influencers that we've used and actually asked for feedback from all customers. Always ask for feedback. Always put your ideas down and just do it. Seriously, like no one's stopping you. The only person, never give you excuses. The only person stopping you doing things is yourself. So honestly, break through it. Like if you're mad enough like me, what drives me every morning is a cold shower. I'm this mental guy, because the thing is, that is my first challenge of the morning. Actually, apart from getting up, first challenge of the morning. As soon as I have a cold shower, it's crazy because you have a thought of, oh, I don't want to do it, because you're thinking that it's gonna hurt, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
So like I'm in like 30 days in now.
That's awesome.
Because
it resets the system and it's good blood flow as well.
Yeah, like so many benefits of it. But
yeah,
the reason to do it, and it applies for all life, is like, it's not going to be as bad as you think.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do it, it's not going to hurt.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to hurt anyone else. And the benefits are much bigger. So if you haven't created videos yet, which I recommend doing, is just film it, put it out there, feedback. Or if it's a drawing, draw it out there, feedback. And if you incrementally, is that the word? Yeah, incrementally improving that 1% every day, over a year, so your drawing would improve or your videos would improve. I cringe at the stuff I was doing back in 2008 when I first made a video. Hopefully no one can find it. It was me doing like a Lord of the Rings parody. I did a James Bond spoof as well. I've done everything. Like, keep on going, because you'll look back and be like, wow, I've come a long way.
Yeah, so definitely. Awesome. Oh man, dude, thank you so much for jumping on. It's always a pleasure, and it's great to catch up with you, and hopefully more. That we'll probably see each other at another premiere, another screening, or another event, which will be great to see as well.
Oh, mate, it'll be great. Maybe last minute it'll be like, hey, come to this. Oh shit.
Yeah, definitely. It always is now. But no, listen, thank you so much, guys. Make sure you go follow him. All his links are in the description box, and if you're listening on streaming platforms, please check out the description and go from there. But we are on YouTube and all other streaming platforms. And again, as always, feedback. How do we, let me know what we can do to improve the podcast, what you guys want to listen to, questions you want to ask as well. And guys, I've got a giveaway on our Twitter. So go to our Twitter page, the Brothers Geek Out Twitter page. Make sure you go check that out. But Tim, dude, thank you so much again for your time, dude.
Thanks for having me.
All right.